Welcome to RFM Audio. This streaming audio broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. You are listening to RFM Audio on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. This broadcast will begin in 90 seconds. Welcome to RFM Audio. This streaming audio broadcast will begin in 1 minute. You are listening to RFM Audio on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. This broadcast will begin in 30 seconds. Welcome to RFM Audio. This streaming audio broadcast will begin in 10 seconds.
The road to a state championship ends here tonight on RFM and here from the Tsongas Center in Lowell. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to championship basketball here on RFM Audio. It's great to have you along with us tonight. The last of 10 state champions will be determined in the next 2 hours right here on the court at the Tsongas Center at the University of Massachusetts Lowell, as tonight the Division I State Boys Basketball Championship takes center stage in the main event position as North High School of Worcester, the 6th overall seed, plays the 5th overall seed in Division I coming into this tournament, Needham High School. Needham comes in with a record of 22-2. Meanwhile, Worcester North 23-2 to this point in time. And for both of these schools, the question of, what was their road? How did they get here? Well, a 5-6 matchup means they came from out of a 32-plus team tournament. Remember, a 32-team tournament plus all 500 records or better qualified at the start of this tournament. The 5-6 make it to the state championship, both from the southern half of the bracket. Both had byes in the preliminary round. They did not have to defend their position, so they began in the round of 32, and both teams played at home. North came from the east side of the bracket. They hosted Wellesley, a 67-46 win in the round of 32. Meanwhile, on the other side in the round of 32, the Needham Rockets, they hosted St. John's of Shrewsbury, a familiar foe for North, and we'll talk more about that in the waning moments. A 90-46 win for Needham in that round of 32 matchup. Advance closer now to the round of 16, where North hosted Beverly High School and blew out Beverly by a 69-44 score. Other side of the bracket, Needham hosted Zavarian Brothers, a 63-55 Needham win to push the Rockets into the round of 8. For North, they pick up a 77-47 win against a storied Brockton Boxer program at home in the round of 8, catapulting them into the statewide Final Four. For Needham, it was a 43-41 win over Central Catholic in the last 30 seconds of that ball game to launch them into the Final Four. And then the Final Four matchups. North takes down Newton North 64-57 Central over East in that matchup. And then Needham takes down North Andover in a battle of the East 60-43. And to the Tsongas Center, both teams come competing for a state championship tonight. And they will do it right here on RFM. We say a very good evening, everyone. Great to have you with us. Alongside Bill Thomas, Todd Robbins for RFM tonight. Kate Robbins is on assignment this evening, but it's great to have you all along with us wherever you are. Share this one out. The action, thanks to our friends at the MIAA, is free and audio only right here wherever you are. And if you're on your way to the Tsongas Center, you got the best pre-countdown set up. We're 19 minutes from tip-off of North and Needham for the Division I Boys Basketball State Championship. And we'll have your play-by-play and all the way through the final trophy presentation. Bill Thomas, here we are. We have been so fortunate to be treated to a tremendous 2023 basketball season. Started all the way back in the month of December with Leominster and St. John's of Shrewsbury. It was a fantastic battle. Buffalo crowd, they were the only game going in the region that night, tipped off the state, and it has been an exciting season 2022 into 2023, and we have got a tremendous treat here with North and Needham to close out our RFM coverage here in 2023.
Yeah, absolutely, Todd. It's it's a pleasure to be able to cover this game. Expecting a great matchup tonight between the 5 and the 6. Similar roads, they handled the opponents for the most part. Both of them did similarly. We got a lot to talk about, common opponents, but I don't think that's really going to be a factor tonight. The common opponents, they took turns blowing them out, but I think it's really going to be about the athleticism tonight during pre-games, Todd. We know the athleticism that North brings to the court, but these kids out here from Needham High, they've been showing me a couple of things and some moves here during their warm-ups, and I'm expecting a high-scoring, fast-paced game.
Well, and that's the key that we're going to be looking at here, is it's an end-to-end. What we've seen from both teams, and we had the opportunity to see North play Neshoba in that Samata Championship in Central Mass back about a month ago in what was an exciting contest there. North, just the things that stood out: their speed, their transition game, their defense, their physicality, and just the word we used multiple times that night applies in total: smooth. They make basketball look smooth, and that is what they're going to have to do here tonight.
And, that starts at the top. It starts on the bench. It starts with Coach Petway and Petway, and his son is out there. He's an instrumental part. He's a point guard. And
Nephew.
Nephew.
No worries.
But a relative is out there that
Indeed.
really helps lead the way. But it really starts from the coaching standpoint. And these coaches have done a great job bringing these kids together. Looking up and down the lineup, I'm seeing a lot of 10s and 11s and not a lot of seniors in this North lineup. And the one senior, I don't think he starts, Kyle Hens Belliard. He's the only senior on the roster. I'm looking at about a 12-man roster. So not only is North bringing a lot to the court tonight, they're going to be bringing a lot to the court for the next year or two down the road, to say the least. But it's really about tonight. And I tell you, the fans are streaming in. I expect the biggest crowd of the day here. And, we're right here high above courtside here on the north side. But I see a lot of Needham fans, too.
This is the Needham side of the
It's the Needham side. I saw some North kids coming in, too. I wonder if they pushed them to the other side and said,
They are parading their way in, Bill Thomas. We can see them from our broadcast position on the concourse.
This is a great broadcast location. I'm expecting a very entertaining game tonight. The fans are definitely going to be in it. the opportunity we had to see North during the Samata tournament, the fan turnout there, it was a Worcester school, Worcester turnout, but the comments we got about that game and online stuff, I think everybody who was there, plus their neighbors and friends and relatives, are going to be here tonight supporting this North team. So expecting a great game from both sides.
Spoke to MIA officials before we came up to start the broadcast, and the expected attendance for this game tonight alone, 5,000 plus expected here inside the Tsongas Center. It is the best basketball crowd this arena has seen all year long, whether it's for high school or for collegiate action that was played in this arena.
Yeah, well, we know that the teams that we follow, how when it comes to playoff time or even big matchups or rival matchups, the kids come out, the parents come out, the school systems to support their individual teams. But this time of year, when you get this far in the tournament, it really wakes everybody up in your community. And two big communities like Worcester and Needham, I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fan support here. Quick ride up 495 and, quick jaunt down the Lowell connector and you're here. So no excuse not to be here joining us tonight.
And Bill Thomas, you talk about how big a deal is a state championship run for a community like Worcester North. Worcester schools on Twitter just about 42 minutes ago, they were driving down the Mass Pike and they were on the backside, and this picture posted, they're on the backside of the Auburn Mall on the Mass Pike side, and there is the digital banner that says, this is one of those digital billboards above the Pike, it says, Go North D1 Championship, 6 p.m. Sunday, Tsongas Arena in Lowell.
Yeah.
That's how important this is, that somebody bought billboard space to wish this team well and to welcome a crowd to come on out here to support the community.
Yeah, it's been a long time since the Worcester Public School has been in a position to win a D1 championship. We always talk about the East, dominating at this time of year, but North has really brought something to the table. The earlier games, I'm not sure how the math worked out, whether it was, north, south, east, or west, but you talked about one side of the lineup board. It seemed like everybody on one side of the program was winning tonight. We were joking about that, but I don't think that's going to have any bearing on the game we're about to see in about 15 minutes.
Indeed, it will not. 13 minutes and 45 seconds from opening introductions of the Division I State Championship here on RFM Audio from the Tsongas Center on the campus of UMass Lowell. We've got so much more to come for you. Coming up, we will look at common opponents, the transitive property of sports. Who doesn't love that conversation as we get closer and closer to tip-off? Needham is out on the court. They have continued their warm-ups. North was out on the floor in layup lines. Then they retired back into the locker room. They have just run out to a round of applause from their crowd as they will wear the road black trimmed with orange tonight. Coming up, we will talk about that transitive property of sports, compare these teams via common opponents. We'll also talk about keys to victory tonight. All that and more as we continue high above the Tsongas Center Court here in Lowell tonight. Stick and stay with us. This is championship basketball right here on RFM Audio.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? The parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Massachusetts needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Massachusetts, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
More than 270,000 students from nearly 370 MIAA member schools will participate in over 100,000 high school sports competitions this year. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association encourages you to support your local high school athletic programs and the students who participate in them. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
When is the best time to talk to your child about athletics and the use of mood-altering chemicals? Try talking together when there's no pressing problem. Let your child know what your expectations are and where the boundaries are in your family. And, above all, keep talking together. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
Counting you down to tip off here on RFM Audio. Great to have you back with us inside Tsongas Center in Lowell and high above courtside tonight here on RFM. It's great to have you along with us. Todd Robbins alongside Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins on assignment tonight, and we have got North and Needham for you. It's the Division I State Basketball Championship for the MIAA here tonight. And I'll tell you, these two teams, you could see the excitement, you could see the opportunity building in on this March Championship weekend. And you know, Bill Thomas, before we get into the sort of transitive property and previewing this, you started into this a little bit, and it's something I definitely want to talk a little bit about how important a state championship could be for a community like North. A community that, you know, traditionally, when you talk about the 5 high schools that are in Worcester, athletically, you know, when you talk football, it's been Doherty for the last 2 decades. When you talk about basketball historically, it was Burncoat or Doherty traditionally. When you got into the cardinal directions, north and south, on any sport, you know, field you chose to talk about, they were always the overlooked school in those particular ways. And the last few years, you've been watching this start to come together for North, and obviously the explosion has started here. This season, Coach Al Petway has got them moving in the right direction. Certainly so vitally important. And just this type of a run, this type of community, to have this kind of success and positivity, it breeds onto itself. You get one thing into another, and it's like a snowball rolling downhill, and can do so much good for athletics in Worcester, the community of Worcester, and bringing people together. That's the power of interscholastic athletics.
Yeah, and I think probably your last statement, bringing people together, whether it's the community, the school community, or the surrounding community that supports North. But you're right, Worcester's broken up, and sometimes that hurts the athletics, having so many schools, around different areas of Worcester, and the athleticism department kind of gets divided up. And it, like you said, it depends on what season it is. But I can't remember ever talking about Worcester North when it comes to a championship. I don't care, what division or, what season it's been. But it's great for them. It's great for the community. It's great for Worcester in general to have them represented at this level. With all the talk about Central Mass being the poor stepchild, the overlooked schools when it comes to athleticism and how they match up against the East. It's always the East. And it's nice to see them to get to show what they can bring against a powerful Eastern school.
And when we look down the results, you were alluding to it a little bit in the program, I just happened to take note from trend line purposes that the teams are listed in 2 columns. And it seemed like that everyone in the left column has won up until today. Springfield International Charter School was a right column school that actually won. And it doesn't mean a hell of much, but the common thread, if you will, is that of these left-hand column schools that have won today, over the 3 days, because of course the action started on Friday into yesterday and then on into today, only one from west of 495 has won a state championship, and that is Taconic from Western Mass. Other than that, Malden Catholic on the boys' side and over on the girls' side, St. Mary's on the girls' side, Archbishop Williams on the boys' side, Foxborough on the girls' side, Wareham and Cathedral, boys and girls respectively, are all schools inside of 495.
Yeah, and I think this speaks volumes for North and representing Central Mass. Not only they're representing Worcester, they're representing all the schools that are west of 495. And we joke about that all the time, but it's kind of an inside joke. It's not really a joke. It's a real thing when you come to this time of year. I'm expecting a great game tonight. And, I think basketball is a great equalizer when it comes to athletics and high school athletics. And, you don't need 11, 12, 15 skilled players to be competitive against a bigger school or a bigger community. And basketball kind of does that. Yeah, this is D1 against D1 and numbers are numbers, but it's different depending on where the community you grow up in and how the money that's spent on the athletics and how much, the school supports particular athletics. And just seems like the East is dominant when it comes to this time of year. But I think North might change that today. But we'll see. Needham looks great. And, not to take anything away from them other than the fact that they're in the East and we're biased against East schools because we've had enough of them. They look fantastic during warm-ups. I don't care doing layup drills or they're doing, three-pointer shooter drills, working the ball around. They just look great.
Indeed they do. Both teams look ready, and they deserve to be here. Mathematically, Bill Thomas, these teams as close as you could get per the MIAA's power ratings coming into this postseason. Now, mind you, numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Catholic Memorial, Lawrence, Franklin, and Central Catholic in Division I boys, they're all gone. They're all at home tonight. 5 and 6 are the two competing for the state championship. Both teams, Needham and North, were 18 and 2. Needham's average margin of victory was 7.3. North's was 7.9. Their opponent ratings, Needham's was 6.96, so ostensibly 7. North's was 5.35, so ostensibly around 5.5 was their opponent rating, and that is the difference between playing all Eastern Mass teams on your schedule and playing a part Eastern Mass schedule and a part national schedule, which North went ahead and did, and then also a part Central schedule, and part of that, of course, Worcester rivalries that are going on. So the power ratings,
which we talk about, you take those rivalries and you drag yourself down the list. So
and that's the hard choice. So the average power rating, Needham's mathematically was a little better, 14.3 to North's 13.3. So about a point difference when you get to the power ratings. But it tells you just how close they were coming in. Clearly, they are meant to have collided here tonight. We kind of teased this going in, the transitive property of sports. Well, look, North has won 20 games in a row. You've got to go back to a different calendar year. You've got to go to calendar year 2022, Wednesday, December 28th, against Broken Arrow, Oklahoma at a tournament in Florida. That was a 52-43 loss for North. That is the last time they lost. They also lost the day before on December 27th, 43-41 to Radnor of Pennsylvania. Those are the only two losses that North suffered all year long, and technically they suffered them last year at the end of 2022. Since then, 20 wins in a row from that time. They had started the year 3-0, and that is where they are with their most recent win against Newton North. We mentioned 64-57 in the Final Four.
Which puts them at undefeated in Massachusetts last year and this year in the overlapping season. Undefeated. Nobody in the state of Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts has beat this North team. Can Needham do it tonight? Well, they are coming on 6 straight wins. Their last win was on February the 16th. It was against that Catholic Memorial team. 69-63, that was the last loss. Prior to that loss, it was a 14-game win streak for Needham that got them catapulted into this point. But we teased the transitive property, and with just about 2 minutes to go before opening introductions, let's talk about those common opponents. St. John's of Shrewsbury is one of those common opponents. North played St. John's of Shrewsbury back on Friday, December the 23rd. It was a 73-45 win for North. Meanwhile, for Needham, they played St. John's of Shrewsbury in their opening round game we mentioned in the postseason, a 90-46 win for Needham in that contest. And then the only other common opponents, it's Newton North. And both teams played Newton North twice, once home and once on the road. For Needham, they played Newton North at home on December 20th. They lost 68-43. They avenged that loss on the road on January 14th, a 55-46 win in that one. Meanwhile, for North, they actually played Newton North at home both times they played. Tuesday, January 3rd, 47-44, and then Monday, March 13th, just moments ago I mentioned it, 64-57. So Transitive property, Bill Thomas, you pick that up, you move it around, and you go, yep, these teams are just as mathematically dead heated as the numbers said they were coming into the tournament.
We can't find anything in those numbers that mean anything except everything we've said is just justified up to this point. Pretty even matchup up and down the paperwork, but when you put 5-on-5 out on the court, some funny things could happen. We'll have to see how this matchup turns out. You know, I'm interested to see how the balanced scoring of North High. I don't have scoring stats on Needham, but North High has 5 players that are averaging double digits. So we'll have to see how Needham combats that balanced scoring that North High has been able to present game in and game out. As far as Needham, I've seen some athleticism. I don't have any idea who's going to do what out there, but I'm looking forward to it.
The final 30 seconds before opening introductions, and you can see the differences. Coach Paul Leiner had his team huddled up, his 5 starters sitting in front of him, and he's doing whiteboard work. They're going to school on this North team before tip-off.
I'm sure they were watching them during pregame, too. Who to watch out for.
They were. Meanwhile, North, they huddled as a group, standing on the paint after they finished their layup lines, and they were jacked up. The emotions on their end, and hey, Coach Al Petway, he wins the award for best dressed coach in this year. We heard it was going to be all orange. Tonight it turns out it is all white. A white shirt with white slacks and a white dinner jacket with, get this, bedazzled white shoes that you can see up here.
I love it.
From our broadcast position. You think they're excited? You think they're jacked up to be here? This is the biggest thing to happen at North in a very long time. And like you said, they haven't lost to a team in Massachusetts this year. They're not planning on doing it tonight.
No, and he brings his A game to the court too. And I think he's representing. You got to represent yourself from the bench to the court, from top to bottom.
And indeed they are. We will join the public address announcer here at the Songus Center for the MIAA for the opening introductions as they get the fans warmed up. And we will get the opening introductions and the starting lineups. Then it's the national anthem and tip-off. The Division I Boys Basketball State Championship. We've got it here for you, right here on RFM Audio. Stay with us.
Attendance tonight. Ensure that your behavior reflects the values that should be identified with these student athletes. Assume responsibility for your own behavior and the behavior of those around you. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated. It can subject the violator to rejection and may result in penalties assessed against your team. Thank you. We appreciate your cooperation. If you require assistance, please call upon an MIAA, school, or security official. Our great nation has persevered through the leadership and sacrifices of men and women who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. If there are veterans or active military personnel in attendance with us this evening, we invite you now to please stand and be recognized. And we thank you for your service to our country. Let's meet our boys Division I state finalists. We'll begin with our designated visiting team in the black with orange and white, the number 6 seed in Division I, the number 23 team.
pandemonium here inside the Songus Center tonight. I thought that we got a rousing round of applause when they started introducing the North lineup, and then all of a sudden below us, Needham's lineup was introduced, and it sounded like the entire community of Needham was here inside the Songus Center tonight. And you know, Bill Thomas, they talk about the 7 hills of Worcester. I count the 7 sections of Worcester that is across the floor from us in our broadcast position tonight.
You're absolutely right about that, Todd. Both sides full. Sometimes you see, you know, a little more support on one side of an arena than the other in this type of situation. Both sides are full. They've shut off the ends to get everybody together right on top of the game, and here we go.
And we're ready for opening tip-off. It will be Joe Okala and Henry Bickford. The ball is up. The tap is won by Bickford. Immediately down floor, they find Kamazi, and Kamazi with the lay-in, and Needham draws first blood. It's 2-0 Rockets.
Tell you, those look like a set play off of that jump. Broke right for the basket.
Okala with a move down the paint. Layup doesn't go. Got his own rebound. Feedback for Steele. Steele misses the second opportunity. Now it's Bryan. He gets bumped, and on his way to the deck, he gets the pass off and a whistle for a foul. North will keep the basketball in the first foul of the evening. North wearing the road black tops, black bottoms, all trimmed in orange and white. North in the straight white text across the front, orange numerals front and back. This is Talon Petway. Takes the ball back, top of the key, the point guard. Crossover, gets the screen from Steele. Pull-up jumper for 3, will not go, and the rebound down for Jackson Shaw.
North had a couple of offensive rebounds early in that possession, but nothing on that one.
This is Kamazi. He has it picked. It's Bryan ahead of the break. Kamazi back to bother, but the lay-in is good for Bryan, and it's 2-all. 1 minute into this first quarter, 7 minutes to play here in quarter one. The Rockets wearing the home white tops, white bottoms, lightly trimmed in navy and Vegas gold. Rockets arched across the chest, and the navy numerals trimmed in gold, front and back. The shot deflected away from Shaw, and the loose ball run down by Petway, and Petway will come from right to left over midcourt here at the Songus Center, the Division I boys basketball state championship. 6.5 minutes to play in the first. Here's the hard drive. This was from Okala. Had to follow on. The tap goes down for Steele, and it's 4-2 North on top. 6:17 to play in the first quarter.
Offensive rebound right there. I think that's 3 for him early on, Todd.
Shaw will swing, drop the ball off for Keys. Now swing around, find Kamazi. Kamazi got the lone points for the Rockets off the opening tip-off. Shaw drops inside. Nice try on the touch to the basket for Bickford. Wasn't able to convert. The rebound is brought down by Okala.
Heck of a give and go right there. Good look. Just got trapped a little too far into the basket.
And he had his back to the basket, Bill Thomas, as he tried to tap it on. Here's Okala out beyond 3. He will drop the ball off. Put it in the hands of Jenkins. Jenkins drive down the paint. Stop, turn around, jumper, front rim and down.
Nice touch right there from Jenkins. Good patience.
6-2 North on top of Needham. 5.5 to play in the opening quarter.
Got himself a nice little 5-footer right there and took advantage of it, Todd.
This is Kamazi. Kamazi with the handoff for Shaw as the Rockets go from left to right. They've got the basketball half court to the right. 20 to shoot with 5:15 to play. This is Clunan. Drives to the arc, throws on the brakes, now feed inside Kamazi. The one bounce finds Keys. Cutter is Bickford. Down the lane, the right-handed layup is good.
Tell you, a lot of patience right there, but out on the break quickly.
Indeed, down low Steele. Bother doesn't get the shot up, and the loose basketball for
And the rest of the North kids never got back, and they stood around, thought that was an easy basket. Nobody there to help rebound.
And Bryan tries the hustle play. He scrambles back in and commits the foul. First foul charge against North. 4:51 to play in the opening quarter. North's lead is 2 at 6-4. Shaw challenged by Petway coming across the half court. Gets it into the hands of Kamazi. Kamazi for Bickford. Swing the basketball through Keys. Now straight away. Clunan 3. Back rim no. And the rebound for Okala. Kahari Bryant floats over the top, finds Oakland down the lane, and the lane is good.
Defense got caught sleeping right there. Nice over-the-top pass.
And you've noticed, Bill Thomas, that they are trying to play matchup man is Needham, but it's leaving that move from the mid-paint down to the basket. Clunan in transition. That one is coast to coast through the lane. The lane is good.
Showing off some speed right there, just weaving his way down the lane.
The junior guard found a lot of space, and then an immediate response for Jenkins with a little push shot for the sophomore that drops. A 4-point lead for North. It's 10-6 halfway through this first quarter. The inside feed, Keys for Shaw. Missed. Shaw got his own rebound. Tried to bang it off a defender. Ends up giving it away to Bryant. Kahari Bryant, the forward. Up floor for Petway. Petway finds Oklahoma. He got ahead of the break and the lane is good. And it forces the timeout. Coach Paul Liner is frustrated with his Rockets, and he takes the timeout. 3:43 to play in the first quarter. And North has doubled up Needham. It's 12-6.
And they're beating them with athleticism, Todd. Up and down the court. They've got a number of fast break layups. North is just getting down the court faster, and Needham falling asleep, especially from half court back to about the foul line. They're letting themselves get beat in the lane, and that's where North is taking advantage of it.
Given how loud it was at the opening introductions, Bill Thomas, I'm not sure that you could hear this, so I want to relay this. They mentioned this off the top. For North, it is their second boys basketball state championship appearance, but here's the key. It's their first appearance in the state basketball championship in 43 years.
Yeah, and I tell you, that really says something about a drought and how the North community has gotten behind this school. Nobody in the North community has ever experienced this before. It's pretty safe to say. And the ones that were, around and lucky enough to experience this 43 years ago, they're probably the most strongest supporters of this team right now.
Fan sections for either school packing both sidelines. North is on the sideline immediately across from us. Again, at least 7, now growing to 8 sections of North fans. Meanwhile, for Needham, they are matching with about 8 or 9 sections on the sideline directly below our broadcast position here, high above the official table and benches at courtside tonight.
All right, and they tried to keep people off the end caps, but that's not working. There's too many people here. Just let them find a seat and enjoy the game.
Kamazi into the front court from left to right. He'll drop it off. First substitution, it's Goldstein. Goldstein with the basketball, the bounce for Shaw. Shaw floats it over the top of Petway and down it drops. 12-8 North's lead over Needham. 3:22 to play in the opening quarter. This is Jenkins. Jenkins for Petway. Petway over his head. He'll put it in the hands of Okla. Okla signals a man down. It's Bryant. Now the handoff for Jenkins. Jenkins with a left-hand dribble. Lost. Bounce it back for Petway.
Yeah, had Okla on a double team too and lost his man but couldn't find him back under the basket.
Petway for Jenkins. Had to double clutch. Dropped it off for Steele. Steele, the little push shot over Goldstein. Doesn't go, but he wins the tap back on the rebound.
Dude, he tapped that to himself twice, Todd.
Indeed he did.
Give him 2 rebounds out of that one.
Finds Petway. Steps up, long 2, got fouled.
Ooh.
And Petway tried to body English at home. He wanted the mid-range jumper and the harm. Basket doesn't fall, but 2 shots coming up for Talon Petway.
Who'd they build that on, Todd? Looks like they got Keys on that one.
I believe it is. Yeah, 32 Keys. His first, as they say here inside the building. And Petway at the line. Hard in and out. He is shooting on the same end as the student section for the Rockets, which is absolutely packed, shoulder to shoulder and standing. Keys will check out at this juncture. And Devin Delamargio will check into the game. A smaller lineup now for the Rockets, as the senior Noah Goldstein is the tallest player on the floor. He's going to have to match up against Okla, and he's given up a full head and shoulders height.
Yeah, that could be problems, especially under the boards here. We'll have to see how Needham combats that. They got to look for a good shot because rebounding probably is not going to be to their advantage.
Petway's second dropped. It's 13-8 North. 2.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. And a pick immediately on the pass by Steele. And Steele will settle the basketball and drop it off for Ty Tabalis, who checked in during the last foul. Tabalis, the crossover, bothered through the lane, gave up possession, and the loose ball rolled into the hands of Amarin Minor.
But a nice way of changing up what you wanted to do there, and he saw trouble in the lane. He got it back out, reset.
This is Petway. Drive, foul line, reverse direction, denied. Nowhere to go there. Nice defense by Clunan. And then the pick from behind of Tabalis. He had his pocket picked by Shaw. Now it's down floor. Bryant for Carmazzi. Jumper there for Delamaggio. Does not go. Tapped loose and run down by Amarin Minor. Gets the loose ball. Rebound.
Halfway down, but you don't get credit for that.
1:40 to play in the opening quarter. North 13 and Needham 8 as Petway brings the ball from right to left into the half court left. And Petway being guarded closely here by Goldstein and bothered closely. Now Petway blows by Goldstein down the lane, and the lay-in goes. I don't like the matchup there, Bill Thomas, putting your biggest player on the floor against your speedy point guard out at the logo.
Yeah, it looked like Petway was toying with him there, and then nobody to help out in the lane.
+7 for North, 15-8, 1:10 to play in the first quarter. It's Delamaggio, the drive into a triple team. Foul is called, and Delamaggio goes among the trees, and he's going to get 2 shots.
The North defense just closed in on him there, but took advantage of that contact.
Settles the action here a little bit. 1:08 to play in the first quarter. North with the 7-point lead. And Devin Delamaggio, the junior guard at the foul line, missed the first. Substitutions on both sides into the game. Coach Petway has shed the dinner jacket. He's down to the white top and white slacks and the white shoes with the rhinestones on the sideline. You can't miss them from our broadcast position above courtside. Delamaggio gets that one to drop. It's 15-9.
I'm partial to his hairstyle, Todd, if you want to comment further. Friends with his barber or his razor blade, whichever one.
Sporting the Bill Thomas look.
Love that Steve look.
As can be.
Smooth and slick.
Steele swings the basketball around, finds
what a
Tabalis. Tabalis for Okala, but he lost it over the sideline.
He had him wide open. Oka knows it.
And he gives a little clap and a slap on the back to Tabalis. He knew.
That was a great pass inside. Oka just could not handle it. A little hot. Might have thought about going up with it before he actually had it in his possession.
Full court pressure here from North. The Polar Bears drop now into a half-court man.
Coach
as the
Petway.
Rockets, Bickford.
Petway urging his defense to come out and challenge.
Now for Shaw. Shaw to the foul line. Kick for Goldstein. Goldstein, little hands-off. Finds Cohen.
Thought he was going to get called for travel, and Todd, he did a little shimmy.
Instead, he got it to Bickford, who missed the lay-in on the left-hand drive. And then the nice play by Steele to bang it off Shaw out of play.
What a job by Steele. I'm going to give him credit for that rebound. Under control right there and created an out-of-bounds turnover.
And basketball goes to the Polar Bears. Final 15 seconds here of the opening quarter. Shot clock is off, and North with a 15-9 lead.
North looking to double up right here as the quarter winds down.
Minor with the basketball. They'll drop it for Tabalis. And remember, he hit 6 3-pointers in that Samata tournament. Instead, they give it to Minor, who launches from deep at the buzzer, and that one will not go.
That was a little surprising.
1 quarter in the books here from Songus Center in the Division I Boys Basketball State Championship. North High Worcester 15 and Needham's Rockets 9 through 1 quarter. You're listening to Championship Basketball right here on RFM Audio.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Massachusetts. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
A well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic Athletics provides the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
First 8 minutes in the books. North on top of Needham in the boys Division I state championship by a 15-9 score. North starts the second quarter with the basketball half court to the left. Drive down the lane is taken away and denied. Now going the other way, it's Clunan down the lane, missed the shot. Goldstein, second opportunity, his jumper will fall, and Needham's to double digits, cuts the lead to 4 at 15-11.
Good job right there, keeping that ball alive.
This is Tabalis with the basketball.
Needham double teaming every chance they get.
Now Jenkins, kick back, Tabalis, deep three from the right side, hard rattle out. Long, queued up an opportunity for Bryan. He instead swings for Jenkins, who cues up the three and delivers it. 18-11 North on top of Needham, 7:05 to play in the second quarter. Shaw with the basketball over half court to the right. This is Kamazi. Kamazi puts the ball on the deck, now feeds Clunan right side of the arc. Clunan drives, foul line, in a double team, shot up, bothered, and the loose ball off the backboard into the hands of Okla for the rebound.
Great job by Tabalis there to change the shot.
Finds Jenkins, who lowers the boom on Clunan. It's an offensive foul and a turnover back to the Rockets. 6:39 to play in the second quarter. It's North 18 and Needham 11. Bill Thomas, what stands out on the stat sheet through 1 quarter plus?
Well, scoring spread around on both teams. 1, 2, 3, 4 players with baskets made from the floor, leading by Jenkins and Okla with 4 points each. And same thing for the Needham Rockets. 4 players have a basket from the floor, toss in a foul shot. So pretty evenly matched up game right now. Nobody's taking over.
Loose ball gets poked away by Jenkins, but it's recovered by Clunan. Clunan swings for Shaw. Shaw for Bickford. Puts it on the deck on the right baseline. Tried the left-hand shot, hard off the window, and the rebound down in the hands of Steele.
You know, that's one thing that stands out. He got Steele for at least 6 rebounds here early on, Todd. He's dominating the boards on both ends of the court.
Petway into the front court, tries to send a bullet to the far sideline. It's slapped away by the Rockets and out of play. So North gets the basketball, a fresh 30, half court to the left.
Both teams doing a pretty good job taking care of the basketball. A couple turnovers each, but nothing that's troublesome up to this point of the game.
Petway for Bryant. Bryant back to the basket, spins off the defender Clunan, goes up strong, and Goldstein with the body contact will send Kahari Bryan the forward to the foul line.
Yeah, Bickford and Goldstein both swallowed him up right there. They get Goldstein for the foul, but team defense there trying to slow down the Rockets as they make their way to the basket. Slow down the Polar Bears, I'm sorry.
Bryan at the line, his first one falls, 19-11 North, 6:05 to play here in the second quarter. And despite Bill Thomas, a 43-year absence, I'm seeing no, hangover from this North team playing such a big game as the second one drops for Bryan. As Coach Petway preaches all year long, every game's a big game.
Well, hey, you know, you play to win. It's more fun when you win, but yeah, they're all big games.
Clunan follows the defense down floor and chases him to the basket. He gets the coast-to-coast lay-in. Second time in as many possessions he's done that. Now the swing, Petway, 3 on the left side. He is fouled into the Rocket bench, gets helped up by Okla, and the Needham crowd does not like it, but they say it's a push, and Petway has 3 shots coming from the line, and Coach Paul Liner wants an explanation.
Yeah, it couldn't have happened in a worse spot either, right in front of the Needham bench, and you know, of course, the coach thinks he had a better view of it than the official that was 10 feet away, and going to get 3 foul shots here.
And Petway hits the first, 21-13, 5:47 to play in the second quarter. And remember, in that game against Brockton, in the round of 8, Bill Thomas, they ran up a huge score against Brockton early, and then really just added to it as the game went on as Petway hits the second of 3.
Petway 3 out of 4 so far from the line tonight. He's got 1 more coming.
Keys will check in to bring a center position, maybe hope to even that matchup up against Okla. Petway with the third. Down that one goes. 3 of 3 on the foul three-pointer. It's 23-13, a 10-point lead for North. And here comes Clunan with the right hand dribbling across the timeline. Finds Karmazi, Carmazzi for Keys. Swing back Shaw. Shaw bothered out along the logo. He's being defended well away from the basket. He'll drop it to the arc, left side, put it in the hands of Goldstein. Goldstein, the underhand handoff. Bickford from the jumper. Left elbow does not go. Rebound brought down by Shaw. Kick back Carmazzi, 3. Short, tap on by Bickford. Doesn't go, and Steele will wrestle the rebound loose. Then Petway goes down floor, tries to beat the break to Okla. It was deflected out of play, and they say North basketball. And the Needham fans are in disbelief.
Hearing it from the crowd.
The official ahead of the break, Bill Thomas, asked for help, and he got help from the trail official, who was well off the play, about a quarter of the court, and he said the basketball was not deflected, was deflected, and it went out of play off of Needham.
We got about 500 officials right in front of us that disagree with that call, Todd.
And it was right in front of them as well. And now Coach Petway will spend a timeout. 5:13 to play in the second quarter. Worcester's North High 23 and Needham 13. And right now, Bill Thomas, it is all North at the moment. Everything is falling for them. The fouls are going their way. The whistle's going their way, generally on balls out of play. And they are capitalizing on every opportunity they get. And meanwhile, for Needham, what they have got is a lot of missed baskets.
Yeah, and I think North's height is really bothering Needham. They're not getting the transition baskets or the baskets down the lane that they might be used to getting. I know they like to run that weave, and they're always looking to get that cutter, working that give and go, but just not working for them tonight, Todd. North has had an answer, and I think it's North athleticism that's really beating Needham to the punch.
5:13 to play in the second quarter. 23-13. North on top of Needham. Remember, this is a matchup of 5-6. Needham was Division I boys North 5. And meanwhile, North was 6. North with the basketball, half court to the left, out of their timeout, and 23 to shoot. Petway in front of Goldstein, takes the jumper for 3, does not go, but they keep the rebound. Okla cycles out for Bryan. Bryan, feed, cue up Petway, 3 from the right corner, and down it goes. And now the long floor pass, find ahead, tapped on to Keys, and a nice feed by Bickford, recognizing Keys had slipped ahead of the break, and it's an immediate response, 26-15, 4:37 to play in the second quarter.
I love the way both teams are always looking down court, whether it's on a rebound or a made basket, trying to get out on the break.
Okla for Petway. Petway dribbles back toward the logo with the left hand. He'll drop it off into the hands of Okla. Okla, back top of the key, Bryan. Bryan, crossover, drive to the lane, slams on the brakes, reverse direction, push shot doesn't go. Okla pushed from behind, but he had the last touch on the basketball out of play, and the ball on a turnover goes back to the Rockets.
Yeah, I think Goldstein got a little elbow in the small of his back, got away with one there, Todd.
4:12 to play here in the second quarter.
Full court pressure here. More token than anything, take a few seconds off the clock.
North's going to make them think about it and hopefully not give up any more of those transition baskets, which has probably been the one thing of note, is Clunan's ease of being able to streak down floor while the defense is setting up in the half court
if there's one
and lay the ball in.
That's where North has been weak. They've been late getting down court.
Bickford looking for Goldstein. One zigged, the other zagged, and the ball is in the Polar Bear cheerleading section.
Looked like Goldstein got tangled up there too, put him a half a step behind the timing.
Petway has to go all the way to the far end of the hockey boards to bring this one back. It's a turnover, the ball back to the Polar Bears with a 26-15 lead, 3:55 to play before halftime. Coach Petway held the substitute. It was a Marin Minor. He wanted him after this offensive possession, so he waited for the ball to be put in play, sent Minor to the table. Polar Bears across half court, and Petway, Talon Petway, the junior with the basketball.
And defense, double team and defense all the way out to the half court line, Todd.
Petway gets loose, 3 away, down it goes. Timeout Rockets. 3:31 to play before halftime. It's North 29 and Needham 15.
And North being led by Petway, 9 points in the second quarter has allowed North to bust out to this 14-point lead.
This message furnished by the MIAA.
So, how are the kids?
Well, Emily made the honor roll.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, we're really proud of her. Tyler, on the other hand, though.
What's going on?
He's been moody lately, just feeling down and not like himself.
Oh, we've been there. Nick was struggling last spring. He was so anxious and stressed.
Really? What helped?
Well, he joined the soccer team. And ever since, he's been a lot happier. He has more energy, he's less stressed, and he's definitely in a better mood at home. It's made a huge difference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting out of the house, he's getting some exercise, and he's off his phone for once. It's been good for his mental health.
Sounds like it's been good for your mental health, too.
Participating in Massachusetts high school sports improves students' physical and mental health. Encourage your son or daughter to get involved. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
The MIAA building the future through interscholastic athletics. Back to the Tsongas Center in Lowell on the campus of UMass Lowell. High above courtside tonight, and it's championship basketball here on RFM Audio. Todd Robbins alongside Bill Thomas. Great to have you along with us tonight here on RFM. It's Bickford across midcourt. Looks once again for Goldstein. Missed the connection and out of play. And it's a turnover back to North. And that is the second time out of a Needham timeout. They threw the ball away in transition, Bill Thomas.
Turnover starting them out for Needham. I got him at 4 now and, getting a little careless with the basketball.
Tabalis finds Jenkins with the loose dribble, half court to the left. 2:55 and counting to play here in the second quarter. Petway from straight away, screen for Okla, who had room down the lane. Petway kept it, foul line. Now guns the pass inside, offensive foul.
Second time they've got him, I think, lowering his shoulder.
Okla makes the contact in the chest of Bickford, and there is certainly a size difference, about a foot or so. Well, now they see the two of them standing next to each other. Bill Thomas, they're pretty easy.
It looks a little deceptive up here, though.
I would say Okla, Bill Thomas, is certainly more physically capable, and Bickford may have embellished just a tad.
Just a tad is a nice way of putting it, Todd.
Drive down floor. It's Keys. Keys cross-court find for Bickford. Bickford for Keys, finds the cutter, it's Shaw, loose to the basket. Petway took a swipe at it, but the shot goes down for Shaw.
Good patience right there, just waiting for that baseline move from the weak side.
29-17 North on top of Needham, 2:14 and counting to play in the second quarter. It's Tabalis, faked right, pulls up for the jumper on the left elbow. Missed the shot, Okla, 2 opportunities, second one goes down. North 31 and Needham 17, 2 minutes before halftime.
Good job once again off that offensive rebound. What we got
and the
going
steal,
here, Todd?
It's Tabalis, and he crossed the end line.
Hustle right there.
Indeed he did. He came with that token full court pressure, slipped underneath, took the pass away from Karmazi, and then I think Bill Thomas, it was his head that touched the sideline.
He had the steal, but he just couldn't stop his momentum. He ended up sliding over the end line, leaned back a little bit, but just great hustle right there by Tabalis.
1:54 to play before halftime. North 31 and Needham 17. And Tabalis again. This time the steal on Karmazi, called for the foul.
Wow, quickness right there, I'll tell you.
He is, Bill Thomas, at least a quarter to a third of the court off the ball, and then all of a sudden he's there when the ball is there.
Yeah, 2 steps. Great anticipation is what it's all about, Todd.
This is Clunin. Clunin across the timeline. Throws on the break, swing to Shaw. Shaw with the ball, half court to the right. Now Bickford back to the basket across the three-point arc. Final 97 seconds before halftime. Shaw takes the move down the lane, guarded by Steele. The whistle sounds as the shot does not fall, but Shaw, the junior, going to the line to shoot 2. They're saying Amarin Minor got billed for the foul. That is to the benefit of North, as Tashawn Steele, part of the starting lineup, and Minor, meanwhile, is been the 6th man off the bench, and Shaw hits the first.
And that's Minor's second foul. Nobody in foul trouble right now. But you're right, Todd. To get that away from the start, it could be big down the stretch.
Shaw missed the second, and the rebound for North as Coach Petway pleads his case. 88 seconds left before halftime, 1:25 now and counting. 31-18, 6 over 5, North on top of Needham. Petway's drive, push shot does not go. Off the back rim and the rebound for Shaw. Shaw outlet up floor for Clunin. Clunin finds Kamazi, missed the lay-in short, and the rebound down in the hands of Steele. Steele outlet for Petway. Petway up floor to Ballas. Q back into the hands of Minor, and Minor will settle the pace back to Petway. 25 to shoot and under a minute to play before halftime. 18 to shoot and 51 seconds left. And the pick, they were looking for Okala down the lane, was Tabalis. And meanwhile, Shaw, the pick, now gets the ball back from Keys. Couldn't hit the payoff. Bickford the follow on. And down it goes on the lay-in.
Good persistence right there by Bickford. He had 3 trees hanging over him, but little pump fake, got him out of the way and put it back up off the board.
That's lots of limbs, Bill Thomas.
I tell you, he had every defender on the court in the paint trying to defend him there to no avail.
11-point basketball game, about a second and a half differential shot clock and game clock. 18 seconds left before halftime, and Petway with the basketball just across the timeline, half court to the left. He's working on Keys. Petway, the drive. Goes for the alley-oop, and the push contact comes. It was Steele who was trying to make the connection. They bill the foul to Shaw, and it is in the act of shooting 2 shots. That is a benefit. That was most definitely an alley-oop from Petway looking for Steele. 8 seconds left before halftime. The shot clock will be off. North's lead is 11.
That would have really fired the crowd up going in the locker room, though. Probably a good foul overall when it comes to emotions.
Coach Paul Liner is apoplectic. He is saying for Needham that was not a shooting opportunity. That was a pass. It was an alley-oop, but Petway is at the line, and he hits the first one.
And I think he has a good point there, Todd. I don't think that was a shot either. Petway 5 out of 6 from the line in the first half.
And he's got another opportunity here. Final 8 seconds before halftime. And down it goes for Petway. 33-20. And whistles, and Amir Jenkins will check back in. A little offense for defense. And this will get Talon Petway a little extra break going into halftime.
Gives Petway 11 here in the second quarter.
The inbound for Shaw, 5 seconds. Now to Kamazi. He had the first basket of the basketball game. Swings it in the hands of Clunin. Clunin, the fall away at the buzzer, and it is short and into the hands of Kahari Bryan. To their feet comes the 8 sections of Worcester North faithful. North High School 33, Needham High School 20. Halftime of the Division I Boys Basketball State Championship here at the Songus Center tonight.
I think we got the game we expected, Todd, and if not for Petway taking over that second quarter, North would not be looking at a 13-point lead right now.
Indeed, they will not. We're going to step aside here at halftime for some words from the MIAA and the National Federation of High School Sports Associations. When we come back here at the half, we will have a look at first half stats as Bill Thomas goes to work crunching the numbers.
You're funny. Kate, where are you?
Kate
no more assignments for you, Kate.
On assignment tonight, and she will be back with us as we head toward the spring season. Also coming up at the half here on RFM Audio, we'll take a look at mid-game adjustments. Which team needs to make more adjustments here in the second half? Bill Thomas will have the answer for you coming up at the half. Halftime of the Division I Boys Basketball State Championship, the 10th and final state championship on the basketball side here at the Songus Center over a 3-day event. The main event, it is North looking for their first state championship, leading at the half, 33-20 over Needham. So much more to come. You're listening to Championship Basketball right here on RFM Audio.
The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association is committed to good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, citizenship, and responsibility are the trademarks of high school activities. Support school activities with your own display of good sportsmanship and help encourage America's youth to accept the responsibility which freedom demands. Support your local high school. See the future of America on display. Attend high school competitions in your community. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day, interscholastic sports in Massachusetts. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
The aims, the organization, and the policies of the MIAA are based on the philosophy that interscholastic activities, although a privilege and not a right, are important parts of the educational process. They should be encouraged, directed, and supported by a statewide organization. This organization's leaders should be representative of the state's schools and promote the further development of students' health and well-being. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association urges your support of this philosophy through your attendance at all local and state events. The MIAA and all its member institutions thank you. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
Today's contest is brought to you by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association. This association is responsible for governing, coordinating, and promoting educational athletics and aims to provide student athletes with the best high school experience possible. The MIAA stresses the values of interscholastic athletics, from discipline and commitment to sportsmanship and teamwork. Visit the MIAA website today at miaa.net and explore all that they have to offer. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Massachusetts.
This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
Championship basketball here on RFM Audio. Great to have you along with us, capping off an exciting year of coverage on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch with this audio-only capper here tonight from Songus Center. The Division I Boys Basketball State Championship has halfway gone, and the 6th seed North of Worcester has the lead over the 5 seed Needham, 33-20 at halftime. Todd Robbins alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins on assignment tonight, but great to have you along with us wherever you are joining us from on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch. Hey, you like, follow, or subscribe on your favorite social media app. When we go live with content, the best thing, it finds you. How much easier can it get? What a great night here, and it's great to have you along with us. And we've got an exciting spring season ahead. Schedule coming out there on Twitter, at Media Rivalry on Twitter, in the next few days. Halftime, 33-20, North on top of Needham. A 13-point halftime lead. Bill Thomas, probably larger than we expected at the halftime break, given how close these two teams were. But if you look at the statistics and you look at the way they have competed this year, this is what North does. When the gates open, they explode out of the gates down the backstretch, and they want you to play catch up all the way. You've got to have closing speed. The question will be, can Needham catch them down the stretch?
Well, Todd, and to your point, Needham got that open and tap and ran that quick, fast break for a quick 2, but they've struggled since that open and tap when it comes to putting the ball in the basket. They only had 9 first-quarter points, 11 in the second, which leaves them at 20. I haven't been following them all year, but I'm going to say the Needham Rockets probably their worst half of the season, only scoring 20. But a quick look at the stats on the north side. It's really been a lot about Petway. He's took control of the game in the second quarter for North. He had 11 in that second quarter, a couple of three-pointers, perfect from the line, 5 for 5. He's 6 for 7 overall with a total of 14 to lead the way for North. Jenkins stepped up, tossed in 7, add in Auckland with 6, but that's really the rebounding and steal has really helped him to build that lead. I got him for at least 7 rebounds, so he's doing a good job under the basket. He's got himself 2 points also on a putback, but it's really that rebounding and the shooting and the court management and the offensive management is spreading the ball around. It's really led to this lead for North here at half. Over on the other side of the ledger, quick look, pretty much even scoring and not a lot to talk about. Shaw had 3, Goldstein, Bickford, and Clunan all had 2, along with Keys in that second quarter. Short quarter, only 11, leading to the 33-20 halftime lead. Nobody's in foul trouble, and turnovers are about even. It's really about the rebound and the shooting the Petway up to this point.
And they're not wasting any time. The ball's back in play, third quarter underway, and it's Needham with the basketball. They go right to left here in the second half of action. It's Kamazi with the basketball. Sends it back top of the key for Keys. Takes a 3 from straight away into the hands of Petway short. And Petway will bring it from left to right into the front court. He'll find Bryan. Bryan feed inside. Steal. The left-hand shot. Hard in and out. And the rebound comes down in the hands of Kamazi. Goes outlet for Shaw. Shaw down floor. Swatted away by Steele. And out of play. And Needham will keep the basketball half court to the left.
Great backside defense right there. Just got his hand on that shot at the last second.
Fans still out on the concourses here at the Songus Center, filing back down into the seating bowl, and it's a quick steal off the inbound for Bryan. Bryan up floor, finds Jenkins. Jenkins looks for Okala, and it's deflected out of play. Jenkins was not able to get the hands on it, and he juggled it across the end line, and it's a turnover. Ball will go back to the Rockets. Needham wearing the white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in Vegas gold and navy blue. Navy blue numerals trimmed in Vegas gold front and back. Rockets arched across the front of the jersey. The jumper for Shaw catches a lot of iron and a little kiss off the window, and down it goes. Cuts it to an 11-point basketball game.
Good job by Shaw there to manage the defense, let him blow by him, and then get a nice, easy jumper. Whoa.
Down floor, Worcester North looking for the alley-oop. It was Bryan looking to connect down floor for Okla. Meanwhile, it turns into a turnover. Bickford ahead of the break, and he throws down the slam.
And Bickford says, no, you're not going to get the jam on your end, but I'm going to get it on my end.
33-24, North on top of Needham. 6:35 to play here in the third. North looking for a response. They miss another lay-in. That's Jenkins who can't finish. Now the bounce inside. The lay-in for Shaw, and the Needham crowd is back in. It's a 6-0 third quarter opening run, and Coach Al Petway is up off the bench, and he spends the timeout.
North unable to find the way to the basket. Had a couple of good looks. Needham with a couple of good defensive plays, rebounding and getting out on the break.
When you get out to the big lead at halftime, Bill Thomas, the next thing you've got to do is come out of halftime and explode. The thing you don't want to do is take your foot up off the throat of the opposition, and North left a little room, and Needham has walked right through it to a 6-0 opening run.
Yeah, you always hope you can start that. Sometimes you don't want halftime. You just want to go right in that third quarter. The way North played in that second quarter, I'm sure halftime seemed like forever, and now they're coming out stumbling a little bit here in the third.
6:24 to play in the third quarter. 33-26. North on top of Needham. A 13-point halftime lead, now down to just 7. Coach Paul Leiner taking the full 2 horns to bring his team out onto the floor. Petway just delivered his message, and he sent his team right back out and said, let's go. What a crowd on hand here tonight at Tsongas Center, and what an environment. This is what state championship level competition should be like. This is the type of the support that you need in interscholastic athletics. It's the environment of a lifetime for some of these players, Bill Thomas.
Oh yeah, and the excitement that the crowd generates goes back and forth. The players can feed off it, and the crowd feeds off what the players are doing.
North with the basketball, half court to the right. This is Jenkins. Jenkins for Okla. Okla for Petway. Petway now with the left-hand dribble. Bickford chasing. Petway into the lane, decides to dish, steal the jumper. He ends up on the seat of his pants. Coach Petway looking for a foul, but the basket bangs in good. And North is on the board in the second half. It's a 6-2 opening run for Needham. 5:40 to play here in the third.
Great
Bill
job
Thomas.
by Petway, though, drawing the attention of the defense to steal that open jumper.
Shaw will drop it off for Bickford as Petway went sliding across the floor on defense. Bickford spins down the lane. He's clotheslined out of the air. Steele and Okla shut down the lane and put Bickford on the deck. Steele thought he had a tie-up and an alternate possession. He did not. What he's got is a foul, and to the line goes Bickford for 2.
And Steele's like pleading his case. I had all ball. That's why he was walking away with it, but call goes against him. That's Steele's second.
Bickford rattles home his first opportunity. 35-27.
First trip to the line tonight for Bickford.
Shooting in front of his own student section on this left end of the floor, and he rattles home the second. 2 of 2 for Bickford. 35-28. North's lead dwindles. 5:22 and counting to play here in the third. Petway drags the foot, kick back, Bryan, 3, splash, and down it goes. From 7 to 10, 38-28, 5:10 to play in the third. And is that the basket that North needs in order to kick it back into gear?
Well, you know, it does quiet the crowd a little bit, Todd, but you know, Needham has come out. They're a different team here in this third quarter, so he's going to take a little more than that. You need a couple of stops here to get that momentum back if you're North.
Petway deflected a loose pass out of play, and Needham will keep the basketball half court left. The alley-oop opportunity is Keys tried to set up Bickford. Bickford was bothered and couldn't flush it home. Petway, meanwhile, in transition, pull up for a 3, and it ends up off the rim and out of play. Nice move by Karmazi and Bickford to block the ball as it rolled out of play, and it's a turnover back to Needham.
Yeah, kept Okla from going out there and trying to make a play on it. Good job by not doing anything except holding your ground.
4:40 and counting to play here in the third. Kamazi into the front court. He'll drop it off for Bickford. Bickford finds Shaw, and the finger roll spins on the rim, and down it falls.
And a give and go doesn't get much prettier than that, Todd. Perfect pass, perfect finish.
4:25 and counting here in the third. North's lead is 8. It's 38-30. Bryant Bullets one to Jenkins. Jenkins picks it up off his laces. Gets by a defender. Last handoff into the hands of Steele. And he rises up on the doorstep, and the lay-in is good.
Good look right at the end, too. Good patience. Find that cutter at the last minute.
Halfway through this third quarter, Steele tried to make the steal at half court. Instead, it's Kamazi. Finds an open Bickford for the slam.
That's 2 for him this quarter. Wakes the crowd up.
40-32, 3:50 to play here in the third. Petway for Okla. Okla into the hands of Jenkins. Jenkins, crossover on Shaw, down the left side of the lane. Tried to throw on the brakes, he lost the handle, but he's going to get bailed out by the whistle. Jenkins was fouled on the floor, and North keeps the basketball, and Coach Paul Leiner can only enthusiastically applaud for his side's defensive efforts.
Yeah, and you talk about getting bailed out for sure. That build up, trying to see who they got there. Was it Bickford, number 11?
Yes. His second according to the board. Petway, a three off the inbound, and down it falls. 43-32, 3:25 to play in the third.
First points of the third.
Meanwhile, Clunan in transition, tried to run right for the lay-in, missed the first shot as he was blocked by Steele, got his own rebound, second opportunity, he went to the floor, Steele knocked the shot away, and they say it is a push foul, and that will send Brian Clunan, the junior, to the line to shoot 2.
So you never give up right there.
And what I'm noting here, Bill Thomas, we're starting to see now with every whistle and every call now here in the second half that goes against North as they start to pile up and Clunan hits the first, you're starting to see a little bit of that frustration start to set in. You still have a 10-point lead even with the first free throw going down, but the frustration is starting to show visibly.
Yeah, and I think Coach Petway's noticing that too, urging his kids on. Wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout here just to quiet him down a little bit.
Clunan rolls the second one home, 3:15 to play in the third quarter, 43-34.
His first 2 points of the third, he's got 6 overall.
Petway across the timeline, puts it in the hands of Jenkins. Tabalis flash down the lane. Instead, they go to Steele beyond the arc, then swing it to Petway. Petway, left-hand baseline drive, pulls the string and brings it back out beyond the arc. 13 to shoot. He takes the three, line drive, and it is crushed.
20 points for Petway, and that
timeout on the floor.
Timeout on the floor.
Coach Paul Leiner says, well, so much for the opening run. Timeout Needham. 2:50 to play in the third quarter. It's North 46 and Needham 34.
3 3-pointers here in the second half for the Polar Bears. Helped to slow down this Needham team who came out in the third quarter firing.
And this is the style of game that North likes to play. Build up the big first half lead and then hang on to it through the second half when they know they're going to get their opposition's best punch.
Yeah, we talked about Petway taking over the second quarter, but if anybody hasn't slowed down and came out just as hot in the third here, he's got 2 threes, continues to run the offense. He's got himself 20 points up to this point, Todd.
Crowd still filing in here in the second half and still starting to fill up. This is the first game of the 10 that have been played here at the Tsongas Center from Friday through tonight, where there is 360 degrees of seating all the way around this arena. Great showing from both the Worcester and Needham communities here for this state title game.
Absolutely great turnout, and maybe one of the biggest crowds that has been in this arena all year, but the fans are being treated to a great contest here, and they're getting their money's worth. Talked about Petway taking over here, a couple of threes, but Bickford with 6 and Shaw with 6 in this quarter helped to keep Needham in the game.
And Needham with the basketball out of the timeout. It's Chris Carmazzi into the front court. He lost the handle, recovered it, got it to Goldstein. Goldstein dribble right side of the lane, bounced it off a defender's foot and out of play. Kicked basketball, reset the shot clock to 25. And Needham keeps the basketball half court to the left. 46-34, North on top of Needham. 2:39 to play in the third. Clunan with the fall-away three. Front rim, couldn't roll it over. Rebound down for Steele. He finds Petway in transition.
Yeah, another rebound for Steele. I've got him from 8, but he's probably in double digits.
Tabalis through, finds a runner for Minor. Back rim does not go. Steal the rebound. Ball still loose. Head to the deck. Carmazzi will scoop it up.
Bodies flying everywhere, Todd. Needham comes up with it.
He finds Shaw. Shaw with the up scoop. The follow on Bickford swinging on the rim. Could not deliver it home, and Minor the rebound.
Action end to end, Todd.
And now it's Tabalis. Half court to the right, feeds back to Petway. Petway, a bothered three by Shaw, does not go, rattles out of play, and it is Needham basketball. North wearing the road black tops, black bottoms, trimmed in orange and white. North, straight line across the front, orange numerals outlined in white front and back, and Bill Thomas just saw this on the nameplate. Every player, family on the nameplate.
I noticed that earlier, Todd. I was holding off on it, but and they're playing like a family. That's something North does. They all go with a common theme.
The pass down the lane. Bickford was bothered by Tabalis, and it was juggled by Carmazzi out of play, and the basketball turns over to the Polar Bears. 1:46 to play here in the third. 46-34, North on top of Needham. Division I boys basketball state championship here in Massachusetts on RFM audio. The ball not even inbounded. Petway is sent to the deck unceremoniously by Keys. The whistle goes off, and the ball stays with North on a full court inbound.
That's Keys' second. Team second. Nope, team second, I guess.
Minor will find Tabalis. Tabalis down floor with a high dribble.
Little careless there. He got away with one, I think.
Got it to Okla back at the mid-court stripe. He will give it to Petway.
And they're guiding him all the way out to half court.
Petway breaks the ankles of Goldstein, pulls up for three, over the backboard and out of play. And the ball will turn over to the Rockets.
Tabalis thought he had that rebound, but it did go up and over.
He made a great play along that baseline, Bill Thomas, for all things considered, even if it doesn't count. In transition, here comes Bickford to Goldstein. Lost the handle and out of play.
Bothered by Oakland right there. Caused that turnover. Got his hand in there and bounced it off the leg of Bickford.
1:19 to play in the third quarter. 46-34. Teams exchanging turnovers end to end the last couple of possessions.
A couple of starters for North getting a break here. Minute 20 left in the quarter.
It's Bryant. Crossover. Lost the handle. The pick. Bickford. The slam with one hand. He throws it down.
And that's his third slam of this quarter, Todd.
46-36. Immediately down floor. It's Jenkins. Tries to swing to Steele. Whistle sound. Steele was fouled, and he will go to the line to shoot two. 59.5 seconds left here in the third.
Great athleticism being shown off by both squads here today, Todd.
Henry Bickford's takeoff just past the foul line. Michael Jordan-esque with the one-hand tomahawk slam for the 46-36 10-point lead. 59.5 seconds left here in the third.
Yeah, for Needham, though, that's Bickford's third. He's the only one in foul trouble right now. Keys has two. Over on the north side, Steele and Minor both have two.
Deshaun Steele, the junior, at the line. The lefty hit the first. Second in his hands now. And rattles that one down. 48-36.
Steele 2 for 2 from the line tonight.
It's Hutchinson, newly into the basketball game.
Oh, he
lost the handle, and then twice, and then lost it out of play.
Got lazy right there on the retrieval. Thought he was just going to get his dribble back. See who the defender was there. Looked like it was
Jenkins with
Jenkins
the
all over him.
And he let him kind of dribble it away from himself, as there was, like you said, it was a lazy, slow play on a poked-away basketball. This is Tabalis, who's bothered as he comes to the left elbow to cut down the lane. He gets held. The foul will be on the floor. North will keep the basketball half court to the right. 42.5 seconds left here in the third.
See who they build that one to, Todd. I didn't catch a number on that. Is it
looks like 12. Goldstein.
It's going to be Goldstein's first.
The inbound immediately into the hands of Minor from Jenkins, and Minor from the left wing. The mid-range jumper drops, and North is the first to 50. It's 50-36. Immediately down floor in transition. It's Keys to Carmazzi. Double clutch, went up, got fouled, and Carmazzi will go to the line to shoot two. And once again, Worcester North is in disbelief. Coach Petway pleads his case, and the officials say, got him on the forearm in the act of shooting here. And
he did a good job letting the first group of defenders get blow by him there, but thought the defense had followed up, did a good job.
Carmazzi shorts that one off the front rim. Every single one of these that misses, you can just see the wind go out of the student section for Needham below us. Second one will drop. 30 seconds left here in the third. 50-37 North on top of Needham.
And that was minus third foul.
And there's the reach in as Tabalis tried to beat the double team over the timeline. The reach in foul is whistled. They get Keys. Yeah, his third.
That's his third too. Now fouls starting to pile up for Needham.
And Coach Liner's got to go to the bench. Devin Delamaggio will make an appearance here in the second half. And now the full court. Okla goes inbound. Puts it in the hands of Brian. Brian for Tabalis. Tabalis running the point. Avoided a defender, then threw on the brakes. Fed Brian, and he picked up the pivot foot. Traveling violation and the turnover back to Needham.
Trying to do a little too much off that drive.
Shot clock off, 5 seconds left here in the third.
Still, both teams doing a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball for such intensity, Todd.
Carmazzi for Clunan, 2 seconds. Tabalis breaks it up, and the horn will sound. Tabalis' shot will not go, but 3 quarters in the books in the Division I Boys Basketball State Championship here at the Tsongas Center on the campus of UMass Lowell. It's the 6th seed, North High School of Worcester, 50. Over the 5th seed, Needham, 37 through 3 quarters. The all-important 4th and final quarter of this state championship with North on top of Needham, 50-37 through 3 quarters. Which team believes? Which team wants it more? Will it be the city's first state championship for Worcester in a very long time? That opportunity is in front of North coming up here. And the teams in their huddles getting ready to come out. Bill Thomas, stats through 3 quarters. What's jumping out at you?
Well, pretty evenly played third quarter right there. Bickford did a great job. Came up with 8 points there. Shaw with 6 of his own, but Bickford really set the crowd alive here with 3 slams. Rest of the team, a couple of foul shots from Clunan, but Needham Rockets still looking at a 13-point deficit here, but 6 points from Petway there in that third. Couple of big 3-pointers. Add 6 more from Steele. Rest of it spread around pretty good. North nursing this 13-point lead here as we begin the 4th quarter.
And they've got the basketball, and they will go left to right here in the final quarter of regulation. Petway back in the basketball again. Creates some space down the lane. Okla tried the follow-on slam. It didn't go, but he got his own rebound, and the third shot banged it off the window and in.
Puts it back the conventional way that time, but give him a couple of offensive rebounds on top of it, Todd.
20 seconds into the 4th, 52-37 North on top of Needham. This is Carmazzi. Carmazzi swings it out to Shaw. Jumper for 3. Missed everything. Deflected off the pack. Loose ball into the hands of Jenkins. Jenkins to Petway. Open to the rim. It does not fall. The pack catches up. It gets deflected to Okla. Okla follows down the lane. The lay-in and the roar and the timeout taken by Coach Paul Liner.
4 quick points right there.
And Coach Petway beckons to the 8 sections of Worcester faithful. Says, get up, get up. And they respond on their feet with cheers. 7:16 to play in the 4th. And North is believing this could be the city's first state championship. 54-37 their lead. 7:16 to play in the 4th quarter.
It's been a long dry spell. Haven't been here in 43 years. And not only is North dominating the stands on the opposite side of the court, they got a pretty good crowd behind their bench too, Todd. They got fans on both sides, and they're on their feet and urging their team on.
And they are believing, and you can see the passion in both coaches here, Bill Thomas. You know, we talk about how long these athletic seasons are, the other roles these coaches have. They teach by day, they work in a profession by day, they do this avocationally after hours, and they are here 25 games later, and they are coaching their hearts out for their student athletes who have been playing their hearts out all year long, and only one gets to call themselves state champions in 760.
Yeah, this game isn't easy when you look at the coaches, the assistant coaches, the students that chip in. Not everybody that helps these teams are in uniform day in and day out. You know that as well as I do, Todd. It takes a whole town, a whole city to build a good town, a good team, and that's what we're seeing here at North. Great support, and they're showing it off tonight.
Needham with the basketball. They have just one timeout left. Karmazi was bothered from behind. It was deflected by Steele out of play, and Needham will keep the basketball. It was almost their third turnover out of the timeouts.
Like a carry there on that dribble, bothered, but got away with one, as you like to say.
7:05 to play here in the fourth. 54-37 North on top of Needham. This would be Central Mass's first state championship this year in basketball, as well as the cue up for Bickford. Wide open three from the right side, and he splashes it home. 14-point game, 54-40. Down floor, Jenkins into the hands of Okla, and the lay-in is good.
North not wasting any time answering.
56-40. Down floor, Karmazi to Goldstein. He double clutched, and he walked with it.
Thought there was a little more defense there than there was.
6:38 and counting here in the fourth.
Petway back on the court running the offense after that nice little break to end the third.
Into the front court.
I keep looking down there. I think that Needham has a sixth player on the court. I'm surprised Needham hasn't passed the ball over there when they were working this end. Coach Petway rocking that all white.
Indeed he is, from top to bottom. And he got a sparkle, a bedazzled set of footwear to go with it.
The only thing he doesn't have is a number on him.
This is Petway. Petway to drive down the lane, and Goldstein makes the lower body contact, and Petway's going to the line for a pair.
It's Goldstein's second.
And this defense keeps getting caught chasing North. That is the thing right now that is struggling Needham. They're putting themselves in these spots. They're having to foul to scramble back into plays because they're getting flat out beat and trying to scramble back into plays.
And that's because Petway's really opened up the offense with his three shooting. They got to come out and defend them, and I think that North is just a step quicker at most positions.
And how about Petway? Talk about consistent. Hits another free throw.
7 out of 8 up to this point in the game, Todd. Make that 8 out of 9.
Indeed, he delivers that one as well, and it is an 18-point lead. 6:07 to play in the fourth quarter. North 58 and Needham 40. This is Clunin. Clunin gave it up at the right elbow. Puts it in the hands of Bickford. Bickford, hand back Clunin. Deep three, short on the front rim. Karmazi, the tap on the rebound for Goldstein. Pretty play, and the lay-in is good.
A good look right there, and got the ball over to the open player off of that offensive rebound.
Can't help but feel that Needham had to have that one. Petway thought about pressing the issue, but spun back to the half circle. Now he will drive. Inside, throws up a spinner, it missed. Steal the follow-on, it missed. Third opportunity, miss again. Loose ball to the floor, and Goldstein sheds the steal and comes up with the basketball.
3 offensive rebounds, unable to do anything with it.
And then trouble in transition. Clunin gets the shoulder block dropped by Okala on the Riverhawk logo.
They got that on Steele, Todd. That's his third. Build it on 14.
5:15 to play in the fourth quarter. Bickford will find Shaw. Now the alley-oop, and nope, Steele says, I've seen that before. He takes it out of the air.
You're right about that. Fool me once, shame on me. Twice even, but he was ready for that one.
It's Petway over the timeline. 5 minutes to the state championship.
North opened up a 16-point lead here.
Petway cycles the basketball into the hands of Jenkins. Jenkins, the left-hand drive, spin down the lane. He walked with it, skidded the pivot foot as he tried to plant and spin off of Shaw. It's a travel, the ball back to Needham.
Yeah, trying to do a little too much there.
4:45 to play in the fourth quarter, 58-42, 6 seed over 5, North on top of Needham.
Coach giving Steele a little bench time. He does have 3 fouls.
Peter Cohen will check in for Noah Goldstein at that whistle. Cohen's first check into the basketball game, and Coach Leiner trying to get some fresh legs on the floor. As Clunan goes down, that one got tapped going to the cylinder. It will count as it finished nonetheless. The lay-in is good for Clunan, 58-44, 4.5 to play in regulation. This is Petway. The one hand tries to find Tabalis, who made a really pretty play going into media row, but he was out of bounds before the basketball came back in.
Good job by the Needham defense, though, to cause that bad pass, gets that turnover.
The down floor drive, this one lost. Kick back into the hands of Bickford. Bickford cycles and drops, puts it in the hands of Shaw. Shaw loses the handle, Petway to the floor, recovered in this case by Carmazzi. Down for Bickford, left block, goes reverse lay-in.
Chaotic offense, but effective right there, but they have Petway all over the place, just couldn't get that turnover.
3:55 and counting left in regulation, and there's a reach-in foul on Carmazzi.
Little touch foul, we haven't seen that all game, but got one right there. The fouls are mounting up here. I think we're in the shooting situation, Todd.
Yeah, it is the 7th build against Needham to just 4 against North. And to the line is Amir Jenkins, the sophomore. He took the harm in transition. Shot away. That one will not go on the front end of the 1-and-1. Tapped on by Cohen. Cohen into the hands of Bickford. Bickford in transition for Clunan. Clunan bothered over the timeline. He lost the basketball, and the whistle goes off. Amir Jenkins gets billed for the foul, and Jenkins got ahead of the break, and the whistle went off behind him.
Jenkins second.
3:47 to play in regulation.
Team fifth.
58-46. Clunan for Bickford. Now Shaw for Bickford. 3, left corner, he delivers. Needham's pulse is still there. 3:35 to play here in the fourth. 58-49. Tabalis for Okla. A block, no basket. But it is a block called, and Okla is going to the line. Third time tonight, he delivered the boom on a defender. This time, however, Bill Thomas, the foul went in his favor. 3:31 to play in the fourth.
He won that matchup, and he gets himself a 1-and-1 at the line.
And it's short, and the rebound is for Bickford. And Steele ties up Bickford on the rebounding action, but he is reaching over the back, the whistle off. Possession off the foul on the 6th called against North to Needham.
And if that's Steele, that's his 4th. Got to be careful.
Clunan will put the ball in the hands of Carmazzi with full court pressure in front of him. Petway on Clunan. Petway catches up. Deflection, nice find into the paint. Bickford's shot does not go, and it was bothered. Okla the rebound.
I think it was not only bothered, but blocked, Todd. Somebody got a piece of that on the way to the rim.
It was Tabalis. Tabalis for Jenkins. Jenkins down the left side of the lane, and he gets taken down to the floor. 3:05 to play in the fourth quarter, and the physicality is picking up.
And if that's on Bickford, that's his 4th. You know, Needham's cut this lead to 9. Oh, they got him for 5, Todd. I must have missed one.
It is.
I had him for 4, but that is a huge loss for Needham.
Senior Henry Bickford. 3 slam dunks in the third quarter. Poured his heart into this one and has been billed for his 5th foul. His senior season is over at the 3:05 mark of the state championship.
And I got him finishing with 19 points, leading scorer for Needham, Todd. He's going to be sorely missed here down the stretch.
And gets a great standing ovation from the Needham fans in attendance.
Tell you, those slams in the third quarter really woke the team up.
And it was at a time, Bill Thomas, where coming out of the locker room, where this game could have slipped away before halftime, come out of the locker room and give Needham a chance, put themselves in position to compete as Jenkins hits the second free throw, and North has crossed the 60 mark. 3:05 to play in the fourth quarter. It is North 60 and Needham 49.
Tell you, game's been everything we expected, Todd. Athleticism up and down both ends of the court, three-point shooting. We've seen more slams tonight at the high school level than we've seen all season. And at this point, North looks like they're on the way to a win.
We step aside, 30 seconds. This message furnished by the MIAA.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
Back high above courtside, the final 3:02 of regulation. North 60 and Needham 49. Out of the timeout, Tabalis with the almost steal. The loose ball, and now Jenkins does make the steal. Down floor ahead of the break. It's a hanger, but it will fall. 62-49. North expands their lead out of the timeout, and it is the third giveaway out of a timeout for Needham tonight. Loose ball to the deck, the diving play for Petway. He wasn't able to keep it in bounds. Out of bounds, and the basketball stays with Needham. Half court to the left.
Hey, North playing defense all over the court, Todd. Inbounding, half court.
Spot up, three-pointer away, front rim, back rim, follow on, out of the air. It's Peter Cohen, who came in for the first time about a minute ago here in the fourth quarter, and he's on the score sheet with a rebound and now some follow-up points. 62-51, 2:20 to play in the fourth quarter. Jenkins loses the defender, shot short off the front rim, tapped along, Steele reels it in, kicks back for Jenkins, now to Petway, and a fresh 33 and a round of applause from the North fans.
Great job by Steele to keep that alive.
Petway goes, no look, alley-oop, and Steele missed it, maybe trying to get a little too cute. Down floor, the connection, Keys got it on the rim. And Coach Paul Leiner says this is the time. He spends the final timeout. 1:56 to play in regulation. 62-53. Needham trying to get back into the game, but following behind that break, Bill Thomas, is the more interesting breaking news, and that is Talon Petway, who got run over at midcourt, and he is clutching his knee, and his uncle, head coach Al Petway, is out there quickly to check on him, as are his teammates, who now have to go over, and their point guard, their leader on the floor, he may not finish the next minute and 56 seconds.
Yeah, and this is not what you want to see, and he's in a lot of pain, Todd. They're looking at his left knee. I did not see how it happened. Watching the play down court here.
Some water being brought out off the bench. Trainer attending here. Potentially it is awfully warm here high above courtside. It was a little cooler back down at playing level, but I think as the building is filled up, the playing floor has also got a little slick. It's also got a little warm in here. I've seen some of the media members on the print side. They've been banging their shirts a little bit, trying to get a little air in there.
You know, they're treating this kind of like a cramp, Todd. They were looking at his lower calf area. He could limps off the court, but, you know, you hate to see this, Todd, but he's probably going to go to the locker room.
Peg-legging all the way off the floor.
I think he's going to stay on the bench. He probably knows he wants to be out here to watch the end of this game one way or the other. I doubt if he's going to go all the way in the locker room.
He will sit down on the floor, and the athletic trainer will attend to him. It is a lower body injury. Looks like he is grabbing his left calf, and that is where they are working.
Yeah, they're putting some of, looks like an icy hot or something on there. Try to dull the pain that he's feeling. If that's a calf injury, he's lucky.
See Worcester Public Schools Athletic Director Dave Shea checking in with the athletic trainer.
It's going to be a long 2 minutes, though. North with a 9-point lead and their leading scorer.
Look for Tabalis
out of the game
to pick up the point guard spot.
I think Needham senses that too. They're a lot of defense.
The full court pressure comes. Steele puts it out in front of Jenkins. Jenkins in transition. Alley-oop for Okala! And down it goes!
That's the way you break the press.
Right off the transition. The response. It's Shaw ahead of the break. Great heads-up pass for Keys.
Unbelievable back and forth.
from rim to rim, and now the whistle in transition as the reach-in foul is given by Keys on Jenkins. That will be the 10th foul called against Needham. It will be a double bonus situation, 1:36 to play here in the fourth, 64-55, and Jenkins at the line for a mandatory 2. He hits the first, a 10-point lead once again at 65-55.
And that's Shaw's fourth.
And the second one goes down as well for Carmazzi. Down floor, in transition, the scoop! As Clunan will respond. 66-57, 1:23 to play here in the fourth. And then the whistle sounds in transition as Steele gets the ball on the defensive side of the floor, trying to transition from left to right, and it's going to send Steele to the line. 1:22 to play here in the fourth quarter. Strap in here as strategically what Needham has for options, Bill Thomas, is foul to extend the basketball game in order to try to close this gap.
You got to foul and score quick.
They've had instant offense. You go from an alley-oop slam for North that excites the crowd, and in the meantime, while the celebration happens, the ball flies to the other end of the floor, and Shaw nails a lay-in. Conversations down on the floor. The ball has been put back into play. 10-point lead, 67-57. And that one will go down as well for Steele. 68-57 North.
And look who's back at the players' table.
It's Clunan.
Table.
The drive down the lane. He missed the lane, and Tabalis the rebound. And you are correct, Bill Thomas. Talon Petway, cramp and all, is back to check in.
That's just awesome. You know he wants to be, he's going to will himself onto the floor.
And a standing ovation comes at the urging of Coach Al Petway for his team. They believe. They've believed all year long. And Tabalis shorts the first. The horn, it is for the shooter. So Tabalis will check out for Petway on a made basket. 1:11 to play in the state championship. Tabalis rattles that one home. That will bring Talon Petway back in for Coach Al Petway. And Tabalis gets a hand, and Petway gets a nice round of applause.
He doesn't look any the worse for wear either, Todd.
He does not.
Wow.
It's Shaw for Keys. 3 in the left corner. Missed. Rebound. Cohen from the weak side lay-in will go. 10-point game. Up floor. They try to give the foul. Nice pass for Jenkins. And there's the exclamation point from Steele. 71-59.
Too quick. Couldn't get the foul.
Shaw feeds Cohen. 3 does not go. Loose ball out of bounds. Petway had it. Petway tied up with Keys. The officials will close to send the players in their respective directions. Needham will keep the basketball. And the coach was going, that's Coach Al Petway, was going to clear the bench. And he has decided not yet. 42 and a half seconds.
I think he thought that that call might go the other way. He's getting his players ready, though. Everybody's going to get to touch it.
The inbound. Clunan 3. Yes! 71-62. The inbound for Ukala. Up floor. It's Bryan. Bryan fouled by Cohen, and he's the guy who's got to give the fouls. He's got plenty to give. 29 and 9/10 left here in the state championship.
He certainly does. That's his first.
71-62 North on top of Needham. Henry Bickford is at the table giving hugs to his teammates. He is fouled out, but Coach Paul Liner is about to clear the deck as Bryan hits the free throw. And now the handshakes and the hugs begin for the seniors from Needham as Coach Liner accepts the situation.
Bryan 3 for 3 from the line.
And now here comes Coach
the rest
Petway.
of the bench.
Clears the bench, and his now 29 seconds away from being state champion starting lineup gets there. Round of applause and standing ovation from the North faithful in attendance here at the state championship. Worcester will be a state champion. North will be a state champion in less than 30 seconds. As this one goes down for Bryan. Bryan hits the free throw, He will be the last player off the floor from the lineup. He gets a great hug from his teammate, Jaden Kuzi-Sarkodie.
Finishes the night with 8 points. 2 big free throws right there to walk off.
Goldstein with the basketball. Down floor, he gets the pass back. Cues it back up top for Hutchinson. Hutchinson through the lane, throws up a finger roll that doesn't go, and 2 shots coming up here as the foul is committed by Nalaja Christopher into the basketball game. The lone freshman on this team is on the floor right now and will be on the floor when they win the state championship. And he's thinking, boy, if we could do this just 3 more times after tonight.
Well, he's thinking with the team that I'm involved in, we have a chance to do this 3 more times. And he's getting a taste of it as a freshman. No better time to start.
And remember, the great part about championship winning is it's contagious.
2 for 2 for Hutchinson from the line. First 2 points of the evening.
Kuzi-Sarkodie dribbles the basketball over half court. Puts it in the hands of the freshman Christopher.
Needham.
5 seconds to the state championship.
They don't want to stop playing defense, but they are.
They believed when no one else did. And the ball is up. And they are state champions. North High School is the 2023 Division I boys basketball state champion. And the family embraces on the floor at the Tsongas Center.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier for a group of kids. A city school from Central Mass shows D1 how it's done.
And the celebration ensues, the hugs for everyone.
And I tell you, I couldn't feel any better than for Petway to get back out on the floor as this game wound down. Seeing him injured out there, you hate to see him end the season like that, but he hopped right up and he's involved in this handshake line, but he wanted to be out there one more time.
The new director of the MIAA over the last year, Bob Baldwin, is on the floor. He's got the state champion trophy in hand, and now a big handshake for Worcester Athletic Director Dave Shea. And now their teams will head to mid-floor as they will accept their state championship trophy tonight after both schools go through the line. A great embrace between the 2 head coaches, Paul Leiner and Al Petway, for a season well played. These 2 teams took down the perennial favorites in Division I, and they delivered an explosive and exciting basketball game here at the Tsongas Center to bring the curtain down on basketball 2022-2023.
For sure, their brand of basketball, very exciting to watch, and you can't help but get pumped up when these kids take the floor, because second time we've seen them, and they brought everything to the court that we heard and thought they would, Todd.
Teams line up on their respective foul lines. We will join the public address system here at the Tsongas Center for the presentation in a matter of moments here. A huge throng of media and family pushed up along the floor, along the rope line. And now, the public address announcer with the
Easily the best showing in the school's history. Congratulations, man. And speaking of making history, for the first time, a Worcester public school has won please come forward to accept your trophy. A final record of 24-2. And once again, making a little bit of Worcester basketball history here tonight.
A little problem with the public address system there, but history has been made here at Tsongas Center tonight. The first public school in the city of Worcester. It's North High School, and they have Worcester's first public school state championship. And there are the captains at mid-floor with the trophy overhead, and the family embraces around their staff, administration, and their captains. They celebrate in front of a throng of the city of Worcester here tonight, well represented here at Tsongas Center on what is clearly a record-setting crowd in the modern era for state championship attendance here at the Tsongas Center tonight. Well over the expected 5,000 in attendance tonight. The largest crowd on hand for a basketball game in the arena this season belongs to a high school in Worcester, and they are state champions here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Over there celebrating with their fans on the far side, and I tell you, I couldn't be happier for them, for the city of Worcester, and for public basketball in general in Central Mass. It's about time.
Central Mass's lone remaining representative
joining in the celebration. Just great to see.
And they are carrying the trophy from one end of their cheering section, one end of the arena, all the way down and around the far end. Ty Tabalis with the trophy overhead, signifying Worcester's state championship tonight. North High School with a final record of 24-2, and they run off the floor. State championship trophy in front, signage behind them, and they're going to be running all the way back to Worcester tonight.
Grab as many banners as you can, kids, because you never want to forget this. If it means putting a banner up in your bedroom, then go for it. Coach Petway coming back for his coat, but maybe there'll be a little champagne spilled on that before the night's over. Just a great job by the coaching staff and all the assistants for North, but it's really about the kids, and they put it all out on the floor, on the court tonight. They came away with this big 9-point victory.
And they are played off the floor by Queens. We are the champions. North is a winner tonight. North are state champions. 73-64 over Needham. Division I boys basketball 2022-2023 is crowned, and it's North High School of Worcester. We've got so much more to come here inside the Tsongas Center tonight. We're going to step aside, final stats, and we break this all down for you as we continue. Post-game next. This is championship basketball on RFM Audio.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MIAA, are the 227,000 high school sports students in Massachusetts. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Is there a student athlete at your school that deserves recognition? Someone who's constantly representing your school as a good citizen and should be acknowledged. Now is your chance to nominate a student athlete for the MIAA Student Athlete of the Month Award. This award is presented monthly to 2 student athletes who display excellence in the areas of academics, athletics, and community service. Students in grades 9 through 12 who attend MIAA member schools are eligible to receive the award. Visit the MIAA website at miaa.net to nominate a student athlete today. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, But playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
High school sports provides an extension of the classroom, where students learn to pursue excellence, the value of working with others toward a common goal, playing within the structure of established rules, discipline, loyalty, and emotional control. The MIAA urges you to demonstrate your support for these values and for our young people by attending high school competitions in your community. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Massachusetts for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association annually sanctions the Sportsmanship Awards to students, adults, and schools for exemplary behavior. The intent is to enhance the educational ideals sought by the MIAA and to encourage sportsmanship as a major objective in their experience as participants. This is just another example of activities enhancing student development in a unique and motivating laboratory for learning. Your support and encouragement of these important ideals is appreciated. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MIAA, are the 227,000 high school sports students in Massachusetts. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Celebration is about to get on the bus and start heading back to Worcester tonight. Look for the players out in front with the trophy like a hood ornament on their way back to Worcester, as North High School is a winner tonight here at the Tsongas Center. MIAA Division I State Championship here on RFM Audio. 73-64 North Downs Needham here inside the big arena tonight in front of a jam-packed crowd that are still crowding the concourses here around us as post-game coverage begins here on RFM Audio. We thank you so very much for being with us here tonight, whether you join us on YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, or all year long. Cannot tell you how much we appreciate your joining us for our coverage of interscholastic athletics. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas. Kate Robbins on assignment tonight. North is a winner. They are Division I boys basketball state champions, 73-64 here at Tsongas Center on the campus of UMass Lowell tonight. Bill Thomas, got to go to the numbers here as we, people that want to know, how did they get there? How do the numbers shake out? How do you build this kind of a lead in the first half and then hang on? And you could go right to the foul line. Coaches preach it all year long, but the numbers prove it tonight. A 13-point differential on free throws alone.
Yeah, I tell you, free throws were a big part of the game tonight in the story. And when you look at the numbers, sometimes the numbers don't lie. Yeah, of course, some of these numbers could be skewed, a couple extra foul shots towards the end. But it's really about making your foul shots when the opportunity present themselves. And I had North 21 for 25 from the line tonight, as opposed to Needham Rockets only 9 for 12. And I really think that's where the difference was down the stretch. North made their foul shots. Needham challenged them. They kept putting them at the line the last 2 or 3 minutes. Petway was out of the game, and, it was really all North had to fall back on was their foul shooting, and they came through. They also won the three-point shooting contest. I had North for 6 3-pointers and Needham for only 3 3-pointers. So, overall, I think if we break down the statistical categories bit by bit, I think we're going to find North came out in pretty much all aspects of the game.
Indeed they did. And before we kind of give this a final postscript to this first public school state championship for the city of Worcester, let's get the full rundown on the numbers by your calculations.
Well, led by Petway, obviously, here. Even though he got injured, he was still really the MVP, I think. Tulane Petway, I had him for 22 points. He was 8 for 9 from the line. A couple of big three-pointers in that third quarter. When it looked like Needham was going to stage that comeback, they came out of the locker room with 6 quick points of their own. But Petway found a way for a couple of three-pointers, forcing him to take a timeout. And at that point, Todd, I think we were looking at a 10-point, 8, 10, 12, 14 back and forth. But North never really looked back. But it wasn't all Petway tonight. Top to bottom, I'll give you a rundown in no particular order. Basically, it's going to be numerical. Tabales had 3. We had Bryan for 9. Jenkins for 13, but he had 4 big foul shots in the fourth quarter. He had 6 points in the fourth after having 7 in the first half. He was silent in the third quarter. Okla, big game for him. I had him for 14, but he really controlled things on both ends of the court. A couple of slams, rebounds everywhere, and 8 big points. He was also quiet in the third, but found a way to 8 big points in the fourth when they needed him for his 14. Who else we got here? Steele. I had him for a total of 10. Couple of foul shots for him too down the line. He was 4 for 4 from the line in the second half. And Minor found a way to chip in with 2 and was all over the court there when they needed him. Over on the other side, and that led to the 73 for North. Over on the other side, no particular order, but we do got to single out Bickford. I tell you, he had the big game for the Needham Rockets. He had 19 before he fouled out. He was helped along in numerical order. I'm just going to go top to bottom, Todd. We had Clunan had 13. He had 5 in the fourth quarter. 7 in the second half, so he helped stem the tide and keep the Needham Rockets in the game. Had Della Maggio for 1. He had a foul shot in the first quarter. Camozzi had 3. Once again, I told you already, Bickford 19, and I had him for quickly 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 15 in the second half after only having 4 in the first half. So he really came on. He was basically trying to will the Needham Rockets to the win all on his own back.
3 slam dunks in your senior state championship game. That is a lifetime of memories, even though the ultimate one will be a loss. That is a great memory to take into your next part of your life.
But he's not only an inside player, Todd. He had a couple of big 3-pointers here right down in front of us in this near corner here.
Huge.
When they were swallowing him up inside, he found a way some points from the outside. So, but unfortunately, he did pick up those 5 fouls, and he fouled out with about 3 minutes left. Well, at that point, I think it was academic, but he really left it all out on the court. Working down the list here, Goldstein had 4, Cohen had 4, Shaw had 12, and I had him for 8 in the second half after being quiet in the first half. So, he really came on strong, and Keys had 4 total. So. That gives, the Needham Rockets their 63, but just too much of North and too little too late for the Needham Rockets. And North brings home their first city championship to the city of Worcester and Central Mass. It's been a long time. I hope it's not 43 more years.
No question about that. And Bill Thomas, there's no reason to believe it will be another 43 years because, again, we just go down this starting lineup. Talon Petway, junior. Kahari Bryan, sophomore. Amir Jenkins, sophomore. Joe Okla, junior. Tashawn Steele, junior. Did you notice what was missing in that starting lineup?
Yeah, any word that begins with S.
That's correct. Anybody named senior
well, wait,
in a member of the class of 2023.
There, but yeah,
a couple of
SC.
sophomores, no seniors.
And you look at, and no starting seniors, 10th and 11th grades. And when you look at their starting lineup, Todd, I don't think we saw a more balanced starting lineup than what North showed us. 5 players averaging in double figures, and off the bench they got a player that comes in and helps out at 5-3 and another one at 7-0 in minor. So when you got that kind of balanced scoring and you're not relying on a half a dozen seniors to get there, I think it bodes well for North the next 2 or 3 years. You talk about consecutive championships, you might want to make a column to put North in that 2 or 3 years down the road.
And absolutely, and can turn the fortunes. We talked about this in our countdown to the state championship tip-off tonight. Can turn the fortunes of a community, can turn the fortunes of a high school, because this sort of thing builds on itself. You start to build a tradition here, and this is the great part. This is why, again, we won't have time to take the national discussion here, but this is why high school athletics right now is in such a better position health-wise than intercollegiate athletics. Intercollegiate athletics, you got the one-and-done rules. Too many one-and-dones. If there was a team like this of juniors and sophomores that were in a starting lineup at a college who wins the national championship here in March Madness, guess what? They're going to be gone. Bye-bye. They're all on their way to the NBA. They're not going to come back and finish out their career. It's not how it works here in interscholastic athletics. There's nowhere else to go but come back and try to do it again. And you do it again and again and again. And all of a sudden, you've got the kind of winning tradition where players go, I want to move. I want to make sure I play at North. I want to make sure that I go. And you move in the city of Worcester into a place where you want to play at North. You want to get your education there. You want to be a part of a winning tradition. And what Coach Al Petway and this team is doing is going to change the fortunes of the city of Worcester, change the fortunes of North High School.
Well, winning is contagious. And, we've seen it at our home school, Leominster. You have some success. More kids want to come out. More fans start showing up, and it just builds upon itself. And I think that's what we're about to see at North. But not to give Needham the credit that they're so rightly due. And, we talk about the underclassmen for North, but while you were talking, I just did a quick summary. Bickford, the only starter that's a senior on the Needham side, and they got a bunch of juniors that are coming back, and they're going to be as hungry as ever.
And so very likely we could be here 365-ish days from now and standing right here at the Tsongas Center doing this all
could be
over
a rematch.
Again.
Very well could be a rematch of the finals that we just got done watching, and two great teams, and I think they're only going to get better, Todd.
And the excitement brews for a year from now. Bill Thomas, great job as always. Same to Kate, who is on assignment tonight, but I know is taking us with her.
Kate, no more assignments. I'm just saying, no more assignments.
Bill Thomas can't wait.
I'm back to being cameraman.
To come back in the months ahead. We are looking forward to that as well. And hey, we thank you all so very much for being with us throughout this basketball season. And I mean, since 2019, basketball season 2019, when RFM got started, basketball really is at the center and the heart of what we do here at RFM on the both video and audio side of things. It has sort of been our calling card. And to get to be here tonight and to be able to provide an RFM audio play-by-play here, cannot tell you how excited we were to be here tonight and serve the community of Central Mass, to be able to celebrate with North here tonight.
And a great partner in the MIAA cooperating fully. And
Yes.
I tell you, we couldn't ask for a better broadcast situation. And, the red carpet was rolled out for us from the time we walked through the door.
And we thank them so very much for their support as well. And with that, we bring the curtain down on basketball season 2022-2023. But hey, we're just getting started. Spring season is already queuing up. Tryouts begin tomorrow across the state. Looking forward to that.
Is there any chance?
Yes.
Now, I read this in the news, and we were talking about it earlier.
Yes.
That we're going to find a way to do a girls' spring flag football game.
I think that is entirely part of the possibility.
A new sport being introduced to Central Mass.
Yes.
And it's going to be a springtime sport.
It is.
Girls' flag football. When I read that news this week, I'm like, wow, something new, something exciting. Have to see what kind of turnout they get. But another sport to watch along with golf and the other sports that we picked up the last year or two. Maybe we'll find a way to do a girls' flag football game.
We shall see.
From historic Doyle Field.
No doubt about it. Lacrosse in both baseball and softball on deck as well. We're looking forward to a spring season ahead. You want to be a part of it? Like, follow, and subscribe on your favorite digital media app. YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, wherever you want it. You like it, you subscribe, you follow it. When we go live with content, the content finds you on your personal digital media device. For Kate Robbins, Bill Thomas, and the rest of the RFM family, I am Todd Robbins saying thank you so very much for another great season of basketball here on RFM. Enjoy a couple of weeks and tune in at Media Rivalry on Twitter for the release of the upcoming spring schedule ahead, season to come in a matter of moments. For all of us here at the RFM family, we say thank you so very much for being a part of our family over the last couple of hours, and once again for the final time. From the Tsongas Center in Lowell on the campus of UMass Lowell, North High School is the 2023 Boys Basketball Division I state champion for the MIAA. A 73-64 win North over Needham. Until spring sports, for all of us here at RFM, we say so long, everybody.